Hi there. Today I'm going to be discussing differentiated instruction in introductory applications in abdominal sonography. To introduce myself, my name is Melissa Klein. I am a graduate student in pursuit of my master's in education at Post University. I am currently working full-time as an ultrasound technologist. My hope is to create and found the first Bachelor's of Science ultrasound program in the state of Montana. The following slides will detail differentiated instruction plans and strategies for introductory applications in abdominal sonography. This is an entry-level course for students who have just entered the Diagnostic Medical Sonography, or DMS program. This is an introductory class to abdominal sonography, which details abdominal sonographic anatomy and pathology correlating to ultrasound imaging strategies and techniques. It is the first ultrasound-specific class for DMS curriculum that students take in pursuit of their bachelor's in diagnostic medical sonography. Howard Gardner developed a theory that suggested that each person has unique intelligences that define the full range of talents and abilities that they possess. Gardner determined through psychologic research that a person's intelligence is based on their cultural and biological backgrounds. The theory is based out of a psychologic approach that described each person's different intellectual strengths and how these strengths are very important to teaching unique student types. Considering Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, understanding students and their unique individual neurobiological and cultural backgrounds is essential to successfully educating them. In order to establish collaborative relationships and get to know students personally, I will meet with them one-on-one at the beginning of their DMS program. I'll meet with them to discuss their aspirations in the program, their personal experiences, their learning history, and learning preferences. Meeting with students at the beginning of the program will set a positive tone for student-teacher relationships and establish a teamwork mentality to instruction and learning. As a pre-learning activity, I will review with students their textbook and supplementary assigned homework about liver anatomy correlating to ultrasound imagery. Using PowerPoint, I will briefly discuss an overview of the materials that students already have reviewed. Then I will lead a discussion on the topic and give opportunity for students' comments or questions. To differentiate instruction in this pre-activity, I will offer students multiple avenues for learning content, such as discussion, images, diagrams, and a short video on the topic materials. Flexible grouping is essential to a differentiated instruction classroom. Students are expected to work together and interact as they learn new content. Differentiated instruction educators use a variety of grouping strategies. For example, a teacher may lead a whole class discussion on big ideas about a topic and then divide students into smaller groups or pairs for further work. As a during learning activity, students will be divided into small groups to work on implementing the topic that I had just discussed. Groups will be given a handout to complete while they work together. The next slide will give you an example of the handout that students are going to work on in their groups. Students will work in groups to obtain the ultrasound images listed on the left of the handout, as they correlate them to the human anatomy images on the right, which are in their textbook. 10 minutes before the end of class period, students will be given an exit card as a quick assessment of their learning. This image here is an example of an exit card that I will use to assess the during learning activity. Students will match the left column ultrasound images with the correlating diagram images on the right from the students' textbooks. Exit cards are a quick way for instructors to assess students' learning to help guide their future instructional practices and more effectively group students for future activities. Now to discuss content, process, and product. Content refers to the input of teaching and learning. The reason to differentiate content should be to help students understand rather than memorize the topic materials. An application of differentiated content within introductory applications in abdominal sonography would be to vary the access that students have to different content materials. Learners will be given multiple avenues to acquire the curriculum content, such as PowerPoint, different textbook readings, drawings, diagrams, and videos. Dr. Tomlinson described how using multiple texts combined with a wide variety of supplementary materials increases an educator's chance of connecting to students as individuals. Additionally, students will be involved in a peer mentorship program at the start of the DMS program. Students will be paired with a buddy who is an upperclassman when entering the ultrasound program. Both the student being mentored by the upperclassman and the upperclassman benefit from this relationship. Students have a resource for questions, and mentors are given the opportunity to teach, which will further develop their understanding of this subject. Process means sense making. To differentiate process, instructors offer time for students to make sense of the new ideas, information, or skill they just learned. A specific in-class activity that would help students process the new concept of understanding ultrasound scanning planes while taking introductory applications in abdominal sonography is to create a model of a simple object with Play-Doh, such as a type of fruit, and have students practice slicing the model to reveal how an ultrasound image is created. This activity will allow students to process the concept of ultrasound scanning planes with an in-class activity by creating something that physically reflects their textbook reading. Product differentiation should be a long-term endeavor that demonstrates student higher order thinking and understanding. Products represent a student's extensive understanding and application of their knowledge. A final differentiated product assignment for introductory applications and abdominal sonography that would benefit students would be a student-created detailed liver model. The liver model would be a final product of the course, which includes the topic of the human liver and its many facets. Students would be given the option to choose a specialized facet of the liver that they would like to add to their model, such as vascularity, the biliary system, or liver function. This final product would allow the educator to assess the student's overall understanding of the liver. Additionally, it allows students to further research certain aspects of the course topics that they find personally interesting. Here are some additional strategies that help differentiate instruction. iSearch is a strategy that encourages students to inquire further about a topic that personally interests them. iSearch helps students learn to explore their curiosity by searching for and using resources to answer their own questions, document their findings, and to make judgments about their findings. A specific use of iSearch activity within introductory applications in abdominal sonography would be when instructing students about abdominal pathologies. Because everyone has experienced a pathology in some way, personally, as a friend, or as a family member of someone, using iSearch is an excellent strategy to incorporate students' personal interests into the content. Students will be given the option to choose a pathology that they personally relate to within a specific scope of the guidelines that fit in the curriculum structure. This strategy is an excellent tool that fosters lifelong learning skills students will need as medical professionals. Students will learn how to explore their curiosity, research the topic, and find reliable, accurate sources. Jigsaw strategies require students to cooperate with their peers and each work on a single facet of a topic. Once each student has done their own individual research and specialized in a facet of the topic, they return to their home base group to share their findings. The jigsaw strategy that would be most beneficial in circumstances where there are many facets of a topic under a large umbrella of learning content. For example, when students are learning about the large topic of liver function and vascularity, students would be broken up into small groups, and each student would research a single facet of the large topic, then share it with their home based group. Facets of the topic would be liver enzymes, blood work, vascularity, and the biliary system. This method is a great way for students to specialize in a small area and learn from their peers for big picture understanding of the liver. Some goals I have for the future are to continue researching differentiated instructional activities to implement and plan lessons. Creating differentiated lesson plans will take some time and will be different for each class and the students within them. The second goal I have for introductory applications in abdominal sonography is to finalize the differentiated curriculum plan for this course within the next year. Curriculum writing is very extensive. It takes determination and continued persistence. Setting this goal for myself will hold me accountable to making progress over the next year. Lastly, I would like to incorporate further andragogy skills within my curriculum design and differentiated instructional practices. While designing this course, it is essential to meet the unique needs that adult learners have. In conclusion, differentiated instruction is an essential aspect to successfully educating students. Students bring unique personal and cultural backgrounds, learning profiles, and experiences to the classroom, which molds how they learn best. Because learning experiences are most effective when they are relevant, engaging, and interesting to the individual student, educators must strive to get to know students personally in order to help them make connections to learning. Differentiated instruction is made up of three components: content, process, and product. To differentiate content, teachers must offer students multiple ways to access the content, such as different textbook readings, PowerPoint, images, and videos. Process differentiation is when teachers leave time for students to process new ideas in their preferred way of learning. Lastly, differentiated product is a long-term assignment that allows students to demonstrate their understanding over a period of time. As it applies to introductory applications in abdominal sonography, instruction will be differentiated with pre-learning, during learning, and post-learning activities. The iSearch and Jigsaw strategies are also excellent tools for effectively differentiating instruction. Beyond strategies and applications of differentiated instruction within the course Introductory Applications in Abdominal Sonography, students must also have an understanding of differentiation as they enter their medical profession as ultrasound techs. Differentiated practice does not end in the classroom. It is a lifelong skill that students will certainly need to incorporate into their medical customs. Students must recognize that each patient they encounter has a unique background and needs. Students understanding the importance of differentiation in their medical treatment of patients will benefit them and their patients for their whole medical career. And here are my references. Thank you for watching.